Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Chelyn from 8-Bit Co-op, and I am back with another episode of Pillars of Eternity. In the last episode, we went through Valewood, and we made it to Gilded Veil, and now we are going to start to explore Gilded Veil.
Of course.
So, let's look at the scope of the map. That is a pretty big map. So, okay. Let's see what we got going for us in town here. Looks pretty desolate like the rest of the place does. So, oh, that's quite a dismal sight. Warm, friendly welcome. Okay.
You must be one of the new settlers. Welcome to Gilded Veil. You'll be pleased to know that we've had some recent vacancies here.
Do you welcome everyone this way? The only answer you hear is the buzzing of flies from the tree.
Of course, we'll need to make some inquiries first. The inestimable Lord Radric VII has taken great pains to insulate our town from Widewind's legacy. Have you ever conceived a Hollowborn child?
What are you talking about?
An infant born without a soul, of course. Lord Radric has made it his first priority to eliminate this scourge from our village. I should warn you, stranger. Here in Gilded Veil, we have a special place for dissidents, charlatans, and those who would hide a curse in our midst.
He steps to the side and inclines his head ever so slightly towards the deformed tree.
His lordship's wife is with child and due any day now. Without his approval, I shan't be able to find you a permanent settlement. It will have to wait until after the birth. We can continue our interview then, after the bell tolls from Radric's hold to signal my lord's new heir. In the meantime, you can find temporary accommodations at the inn just southwest of here.
You said something about Hollowborn and Widewind's legacy before. He blinks. I forget that you foreigners do not have this curse in your homelands. The Hollowborn have been a scourge upon Deerwood for almost 15 years now. He lowers his voice to a whisper. Children born without souls. He shakes his head. Pitiful dumb things that breathe. Barely, but do not live. Some say the Hollowborn are a disease. Some say they are a punishment from the gods. He raises his empty hands. In truth, no one knows. But they began spreading after the Saints' War, so the name Widewind's legacy stuck in honor of that foul, blasphemous pretender. His voice shakes with vitriol. I see. Lord Radric's decrees may seem strict at times, but he has our best interest at heart. He nods. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to ask. It's important that everyone in Gilded Veil understand our rules. Before I got here, I saw several people conducting a strange ceremony near some ruins. He regards you carefully. You'll want to mind where you mention that. Trespassing in Engwithian ruins is illegal, not to mention dangerous. You probably saw someone attempting some new ritual to appease the gods. People will try anything these days. Be wrath have mercy. We certainly have. Maybe so. See, I think we need to be a little bit guarded with the people in this town. I'm not going to be quite honest. He seems shady to me. But like I said, it's best to stay away from those sorts of places. I've been feeling strange ever since a close call with a Bivouac. Is there someone in town who could help?
Whatever your problem, it sounds like a matter for an animancer. However, the only animancer in Gilded Veil isn't in any condition to speak. Consider yourself fortunate. After she failed Lord Radric, we saw to it that she wouldn't profit from the misplaced trust of others. A bad cure is often worse than none at all. But if you're set on finding a bottle of troll piss or a dead Audra pebble to rub on your forehead, you're welcome to check her pockets. A little corpse stink is nothing when you're digging for shit. My advice, however, is to be satisfied that you escaped and leave it at that.
Well, with that, I think this conversation is over. I'm just going to say goodbye and be done with him.
Listen!
2 tolls. Let that be the last.
3. Gods have mercy.
It seems your arrival is ill-timed. 3 bells toll only for the death of a Radric. I fear Lord Radric's heir is lost, or else Hollowborn, and so lost all the same. You should tread carefully. Circumstances have changed a great deal.
What do you mean? You come to us at a time of mourning. The legacy has struck at the heart of Gilded Veil. Our efforts to redeem ourselves in the Eye of Barath must be redoubled. He sets a steady gaze on you. What happened? He shrugs one bony shoulder. I will know more details when the messengers arrive. The Vadri's childbirth, perhaps, but that is not your concern. Does this affect the Lord's offer to new settlers? I can be sure of nothing right now. I advise you to get some rest. The inn, or a stable for all I care. Find me afterwards. I will know more soon enough. Farewell. Let's try to talk to some other people. 'Cause he's not very friendly.
Were you looking for someone in that tree? I could introduce you.
Looking for someone who can help me feel better. He gives an understanding nod as he takes a long drag from his pipe. My condolences. He exhales and turns his attention away, watching the village around him. Scattered between the roots are bracelets of twine and bead, wilting flowers, and notes half erased by the rains. Welcome to our lovely village. Let's see. Villagers, do they talk to us? Things are bound to get worse. I heard they fended off another attack on Lord Radric's keep. You see 4 people gathered by the door of the inn. Their raised voices and chopping gestures suggest an argument reaching its climax. The first figure raises his hands for calm. His face is partially obscured by a hood, but his height and stature suggest an elf.
I meant no offense. Let's put this matter to rest over a round, shall we? My treat.
Hoping to soothe our pride with a few Adira coppers, eh? We don't need your coin.
What's going on? One of the other men points at the hooded elf. His eyes are red from drink, but his gaze is focused. Mocking us even while he shelters in our village just goes to show you what these fancy Adira manners are worth. We don't take kindly to that treatment, not from foreigners, and especially not from Idarians.
Go on. Say it again. I'm itching for an excuse.
Why, you're itching for the kindling touch of your sister, you cocksfeather!
Oh, wow. Those are fighting words, but...
I'll cut that barrel-licking tongue out of your head.
This is a misunderstanding. I didn't say whatever it is you think I said. We've nigh quarrel.
That's where you're wrong.
Back down, all of you. This is absurd. No one gives us orders, foreigner. They squint at you through red, bleary eyes. It sounds suspiciously like you're defending him. And now they're attacking me. Okay. Let's shoot him with I'm going to start off to try to get him, because that beam will corrode them. And while that occurs... Okay. That wasn't bad. As the last of the attacker falls, the elf turns to you, the tension almost gone from his smooth face.
Not quite how I hoped to get to know the neighbors. Thank you for your timely assistance with that awkward situation.
You're welcome.
Courtesy is a rare pleasure in these parts. Though your accent suggests that you are no more local than I.
He straightens his hood, and you notice the remains of fraying embroidery on his gloves. His boots are caked with the dirt of many months' travel, but the leatherwork beneath it is sturdy and fine.
Well, I suppose introductions are in order after that little fiasco. Aloth Corvusser, at your service.
Tell me about yourself.
Well, I'm a wizard by training, and an adventurer by necessity. I was born in the Seathwood, part of the mainland of the Adir Empire, and both of my parents served the nobility, which afforded me an education for which I'm grateful. However, there were no open positions in those houses, and so I decided to seek new means in a new land. And how exactly did you come to be here?
I was traveling with a caravan, but we were separated near some ruins.
In Gwithan ruins? Well, those can be dangerous places during the best of times, which these are not. And half the locals would arrest you for trespassing, and the rest would kill you outright. I'm curious, what exactly did you find there?
A bivouac.
And you survived? I've heard such a thing was impossible. But it seems you either have a knack for timing or the favor of the gods.
What are you doing in Gilded Veil?
An excellent question. I came looking for fresh air and cheap land. Instead, the magistrate gave me directions to the inn and a story about the local lord's expectant wife. But I take it that's a familiar tale.
And you? Like you said, I'm also a settler.
Indeed. In that case, welcome to Gilded Veil, a true refuge from civilization.
You don't exactly look like a settler.
Begging your pardon, but neither do you. Yet, circumstances can find a person in the strangest of places.
And just how did you manage to cross those three drunks?
I'm afraid that was a matter of misunderstandings and mistranslations. It doesn't help that people in these parts remember their war with Adir like it was yesterday.
You did make a rather lewd suggestion regarding one of the aggressors and his own sister. That. He clears his throat and adjusts his sleeves. As I tried to tell them, they misheard me. Happens all too easily after a few pints, and the accent doesn't help. I heard the same thing. For just a moment, he looks as if he's about to say something else. His expression brightens with mischief, but before he can speak, he forces a tight smile, biting his lips so hard you expect to see blood. Finally, his face relaxes and he shakes his head. I should speak more clearly next time. My apologies.
An excellent question. I came... As should I, given recent events. It's just as well. I've had enough of the watered wine and lumpy beds at the inn. They say even the owner tired of the place. Just up and left one day. It explains quite a lot about the upkeep. Perhaps I could join you. I could use a change of scenery, and I find it's better to travel in numbers.
So do I. Let's go then.
Excellent. I shall follow you.
So, I have a new
Yes.
member of the party. His name's Aloth. And Aloth has a chess piece. It's overseeing, which is not bad. A scepter and a rapier. Do we have something other than a rapier we can give him? Let's see. That's 1 to 14. Do we have a ranged weapon we can give him for now? And then... let's see. That's okay. Oh, wait. Let me see if we have any other armor we could give him. No. His hood's fine. Potion of minor regeneration. I don't know how that ended up in there anyway. That shouldn't be in there either. Okay. So let's go ahead and put these in here, because... and for her, give her that. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and quick save it. Okay. So let's go ahead and loot what we can. Put all in our stash. And then...
I shall.
let's go see what's... the sign says. Oh, right here. The Black Hound Inn. The windows are clouded with the haze of accumulated smoke and cooking grease. That is awesome. Okay. The floorboards are sticky with spills that no one has bothered to clean. Well, if the owner left, no wonder no one cleaned them. No one probably cares. Some kind of brown slop is congealing in these dishes. It smells burnt. Well, if they do dishes like my daughter does, it's probably still dirty. Milk. It does a body good. Okay, let's see what else we can get here. Oh, a scroll. Development of a Crucible Knight Part 2 Senior Ranks. Oh. It's lore. Well, I am not going to read all of this to you. What I'll probably do is come back at some point and read it. These people have gold names. I'm going to try to speak to one. Oh. As you near, you feel a vibrant history contained in the essence of this woman's soul. Voices from its past seem to call out to you. I'm going to reach out for the soul. Oh, wow. You see a woman emptying her satchel onto her bed, taking stock of her inventory. Her stuff scattered throughout the room haphazardly. She bites her lip, considering. She begins to repack one item after another. Each item has a clearly marked place, but no matter how she repacks it, she isn't satisfied. The shaking worsens as she empties it out once more, one hand held to her mouth. Tears eke from her eyes as she gives up all semblance of order and shoves everything she can into her satchel, grabbing it and running out of the bare house. Straightening her back, she walks to the docks, chin high, eyes hard and red. A gangly young elf offers his condolences, but she can't see him for the ocean ahead of her. She wanders the docks, offering her services as a doctor to any who will listen, anyone heading out on high tide. Less than an hour later, she watches her childhood disappear in the distance. A tiny speck of an island, tries not to jump. So, I guess... Okay, that name is in green. Hold on a second, let me look at something. That name is in gray. So is this story different? Okay. See group of young men standing around a makeshift practice target. This man stands in the middle of them explaining construction and use of bow. It talks about he's teaching them about how to shoot the bow. He smiles, walking towards the boy, talking about the boys talking about proper stance. A noise comes from a tree line. Shadow moves. He draws an arrow, shoots it. It's lost amongst the trees. The deer erupts. The boys laugh. And he shoots it again, dropping it dead immediately. The boys stare at the deer for a few minutes and then slowly turn to look at the man, newfound respect in their eyes. Okay, so what it seems like is the ones with the green names, when you click on them, will give you the positive visions. The ones with the gray names so far give you some not so good memories. So let's go see if we have people up top as well. No, but we got some carousers. Roaches scatter and flee under the crates. Okay, I'm not good with roaches. Okay, now this is a gray one. Let's see. Yep, this is a negative one. It's about a bar fight, and the man beats them all up. 3 guys. I'm not going to read the whole story to you because that'll get quite tedious for you. Now this is a different one. This is orange. Okay, you see an emaciated boy in chains, black holes for eyes, staring sightlessly at a wall. A man in a dark coat walks in, a scroll and an oddly shaped quill in his hand. The boy glances at him expressionless, a corpse waiting for animation. The man clucks at him, disapproval clear in his tone. The boy stands, limbs hanging. The man takes the quill and begins to write on the boy's chest, copying sharp, angular symbols from the scroll. The child doesn't flinch as the quill digs into his skin, drawing blood as it goes. The wizard finishes with a flourish and barks some arcane command, setting the symbols to glow dully. The boy cries out, knees hitting the stone hard, his chest burning black and red. Finally the glow disappears, leaving only hard black scars etched into his skin. He slumps sideways, twitching, eyes facing the back of his skull. The wizard grunts, kicking him on a leg on his way out. The boy lies on the floor until dawn, eyes still black like holes, the twitches growing into convulsive shakes. That seems like pure evil. It doesn't seem green, doesn't seem gray. It's a gray. That's not a good one. So let's go into here, see if we can find anything. Okay. A rapier, padded armor, and a head covering of some sort. Crammed behind a book is a drawing that shows Ethos and Lord Raedric in compromising position. The Deerwood Part 1, Early Colonial History, and some more lockpicks. And I'm giving the lockpicks to him because her mechanics are pretty high, so she should have no problems. Let's see what else is down here. These bones are covered in tiny bite marks. Oh, it's the black hound. Aww. This hound stares intently at the covered window, head cocked as if waiting to hear a particular sound. It locks up when you approach and whines a low note, tail wagging slightly. Oh, we have a black lab, and whenever you pet him, he does the same thing. His little tail goes crazy. But oh, he's our little special needs dog. We got him and he was really sick, and like within 4 days we had to take him to the vet because he was so sick, and it has just been like crazy taking care of this poor puppy since then. So I mean, like crazy. Okay. Okay, there's the bottom again. Let's see what's over here, if anything. Nope, just a field. Ronin. That's a gray one. You see a large group of people standing around a wagon transfixed on a sword as it swings in a large, graceful arc. This man holds the sword, passing it from hand to hand with relaxed ease, making the blade dance in front of his audience. He tosses it in the air, spins, then puts his arm behind his back to catch it. The crowd claps excitedly, and a couple of them gasp, certain they were about to see a tragedy. Okay. This is a positive one about him taking care of some plants in one of his rooms. So despite the rains, the stalks feel dry and stiff as a locust's husk. Let's see what we find up here, if anything. It's a cow. Cow and a couple of villagers. But for some reason, whenever I go through these, I tend to like to do the perimeter first and then fill it in. I don't know, maybe that's just, it's something that I've always done in every like exploratory game I've done. So I'll look around the outside and then I'll go in and explore all of this. It's just because we came in here first and I know I missed this one, and I'll go back and hit that one, but it's just kind of my little nature. So to be pretty methodical. To me, it's almost like I have to be methodical or else I'll miss something. And for some odd reason, I'm just one of those people that if I miss something, I get really... See? We know there's more grain in there, Trumbull. We won't settle for scraps while you grow fat on our crops. A muffled shouting emerges from inside the mill. The first of you drunkards comes through that door gets shot between the eyes. Gods hear me, Swainer. I'll put you down like a dog. Come away for now, lads. But we'll be back, Trumbull, and we'll have fair prices, or by the flame, we'll have a reckoning. Okay, I'm gonna go get this, and then I'm gonna go in and talk to that guy. So, and then I had Trumbull. An elven man stands before you, his relatively stocky build suggesting a life of labor. His face is pale and drawn, and his eyes wide. Behind him, a younger man and woman exchange worried glances. The miller raises a club as you enter. It shakes violently in his grip. Get back if you value your life. Hold on, I'm not here to hurt anyone. The miller hesitates, then lowers the club a fraction. Who are you? Is Swainer roping foreigners in his little crusade now? My name is 8-Bit. I've only just arrived in Gilded Veil. Trumbull shakes his head. You've picked a bad time to come visiting. Gilded Veil's had all its shine scraped off. Just a big dung heap now, and Swainer thinks he's king of it. They're all of them mad. Who's Swainer? The dwarf, the one standing out there spreading lies among the villagers. Bastard's been here for decades, and he hasn't gotten any kinder with time. Well, I thought you could use some help. Those people out there seem pretty angry. Really? Trumbull sighs with relief. Alias tits, could I use a friendly face? I take it you heard some part of what the crowd's asking for. Grain. As if I've got it all tucked away somewhere. Swainer's been egging that lot on for days now. They've been keeping clear so far, but if things keep on like they are, I don't know how much longer we've got before things get messy. Please, if you're not here on his behalf, maybe you could speak to Swainer. He won't listen to me anymore. Just explain that we're all getting smaller rations now. We're all making sacrifices. I had some other questions. Yes? What was all that ruckus outside? Where to begin? Swainer's ripped them up into a froth, going on about grain stores, claims I've hidden away most of it. All I do with the grain is sell it. I can't create it out of thin air, and I can't hand it out for free. I pay the farmers for the crops they bring in, and I sell what comes out of the mill. Most of it goes to the Black Hound on the west side of town for ale, and Swainer and his lot sure don't mind that part. You take a look at the fields on the way in the town. The crop's blighted, and most of what I'm getting from the farmers, Trumbull gestures to the Saxon containers, it's gone off, rotted through. I can't pay top prices for blighted wheat, and I've barely got enough good grain to go around. Swiner's howling after things he has no right to. Maybe I ought to go have a talk with Swainer then. The miller all but sags with relief. I'd be grateful if you did. He won't listen to me anymore. But maybe you'll have better luck. Tell him we're all having a hard time of it, and we'll all have to make some sacrifices. We'll be in your debt for it if you can convince him. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode just for the interest of time. But thank you for joining me in this episode of Pillars of Eternity, and I hope that you join me in future adventures. I'll see you next time.